Hi guys, I'm currently working on my third entry for the ACBA Photo Combat Challenge. So this is my setup, and for this third round the team will be paneling. So it's like it's basically a comic strip, like a comic page that tells a story, and you'll have minimum 3 windows, max 4 windows. In my case, I'm planning to do 4 windows, and my idea revolves around Spider-Man. Obviously, you're seeing the two ultimate villains for Spider-Man, which is Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. So this is my first panel photo, the setup, and basically it will be setting up the story of Spider-Man. And if I pan, spin a little bit just to let you guys see a little bit. And you could actually see my light, my finger lights over there at the side over there, the LED lights. I use that to just give a little bit more pop. So when I take pictures, it's a little bit more reddish, translucent, to simulate the fire. And they're okay to use, but their battery doesn't really last that long. I got those at the dollar store. So yeah, you can't really expect anything too great. But the light itself is pretty good. Just the battery is weak. So anyway, moving along to our my story for the panel. I swing out this way, and then you'll see Spider-Man on this little corner. So my idea there is he fought those two already, but Spider-Man got injured pretty badly, so he has to split and hide for a while, just to see what will be his move next. And so at this point, Spidey is basically feeling really down and kind of like wondering what he'll do, what to do now, basically, because he's fighting these two ultimate villains, and it seems like he's not winning. So that's basically this the first setup. And now going behind the scenes, I have a light, LED light in there that's kind of lighting up the front areas over here. I also have a little desk lamp that I put at the back of my board, just lighting the background a little bit, just to pop that red color in my backing board. I already told you about those LED lights, and basically all this debris right here are accessories that I made. So I just spread them out just to mix along with the fire, so that you don't kind of see the bottom of the flame effect, so it blends in. And then this part right here, I have another LED, compact LED, that's just kind of like backlighting Spider-Man. So when I take my pictures, it's actually gonna come from this side, and my angle will be going like this. So that will be the kind of like the picture that I'm thinking in mind. So just to set up the story, and then I'll have 4 more pictures um, following this setup to tell the story basically. Again, I won't be able to post this video until either ACBA is the contest is done or I get eliminated. But so far so good. I made it to the third round. This is my first time, like I said from my previous video, doing any joining any competition, at this kind of scale. This competition is pretty big. Among ACBA artists, and basically going against a lot of the veterans and some of the best artists in the group. So, pretty good accomplishment already. But I'm giving it my best and see what happens next. All right, so well, here's my first setup, and I'll see you on the next setup. So in this setup, I have Spider-Man, and I have Spider-Man 2099. And the way I set this up is my panel for this one will be Spider-Man gets startled and then see this kind of like ball of lightning, something kind of like floating in the air, and basically it's a time, kind of like a time rift where Spider-Man 2099 came out from. And so this background over here, I actually printed that, and I paste that at the back and cut a hole, so I actually have that light on the top, kind of like shining in the back of that graphic. And I also have another LED at the bottom, showing facing us, so it kind of added intensity on that graphic, lightning graphic, and added this kind of like cotton type material to simulate that kind of like cloudy smoke effect when he came out, when Spider-Man 2099 came out. So this is the setup for this one, and it's basically I have two my existing diode that I just put together, and again I just use a graphic for that, printed on basically white paper, and lighted from the back end, get that effect. So this is the next setup for my panel, and this is where Spidey 2099 approached Spider-Man and introduced himself. So he basically just said that he's a friend and that he traveled back in time to help him beat the ultimate Green Goblin and ultimate Hobgoblin. And so this is what my setup basically is. So Spider-Man stayed pretty much where he was initially, and basically just put Spider 2099 closer to him, basically kind of like extending his hand, offering his help. So Spidey basically also trying to reach him, so he's gonna try to stand up. And in terms of diorama, this is pretty much still the same. I just changed the graphic lightning effect that I have from the previous scene and replaced it with this other modular wall for my existing dio. Light wise, I just have that light over there on top and this compact LED that I wrapped in tissue paper just to diffuse the light. Normally the light on my right side is turned off when I was taking my shot, so the actual photo will be much darker type scene compared to right now. Alright, so moving on to the next scene. Alright, so this is my last setup. This is the last scene basically, and again, I didn't really change the background. It's pretty much the same background diorama pretty much for the last 3 scenes that I've taken. And so basically on this one, this will be my last shot, so I'm gonna leave it as to be continued, and I have that to be continued cut out in that angle because when I take my photo, you know, I will tilt my camera or my phone to be parallel to the bottom edge of that, so you'll be seeing something like this in the photo. I just want to make it in that angle so that it'll be more dynamic looking rather than a straight shot like this. You know, for some, usually when you try to work with angles on your shot, usually it yields a better perspective on the scene and on the figures. So I always try to mix around with my shot. I mean, sometimes there will be instances where a shot like that will be what you're looking for, but for me, I want to end it, and I want to end it in that kind of angle. Pretty much my setup is the same thing. Again, I still have that compact LED on that side. I still have those newspapers, bloody newspaper at the bottom, but it's in there, but it's not really needed for the scene. Alright, so that's pretty much my entry for the third round of the ACBA Photo Combat. I'll be adding still pictures after this video just to share with you some of the shot that I was able to come up. Alright, well, thank you for joining me and see you next time. Bye.